I had been out for over 2 months and found myself running short of grub. I'd lived mostly on fresh meat, for one can't carry much of a pack in those hills. I found a few promising ledges and colors in the little creeks, but nothing I cared to stay with. I had almost made up my mind to light out the next day. I climbed up to the top of a sharp ridge and I looked down into the canyon or valley about 1.5 miles long, and what struck me as singular, it appeared to have no outlet for the little creek that flowed at the bottom. Afterwards I found that the creek entered a blank and was lost. After some difficulty I found my way down to the creek. The water was almost white. The formation for the most part had been slate and granite, but there I found a kind of schist and slate formation. Now comes the interesting part. I had only a small prospecting pan, but I found colors at once and right on the surface, and such colors they were. I knew then that I had struck it right at last. In going upstream I came to a place where the bedrock was bare, and there you could hardly believe me. In going upstream I came to a place where the bedrock was bare, and there you could hardly believe me, the bedrock was yellow with gold. Some of the nuggets were as big as walnuts, and there were many chunks carrying quartz. After sizing it all up, I saw there were millions stowed away in the little cracks, and on account of the weight, I buried part of the gold at the foot of a large tent-shaped rock facing the creek. You can't miss it. There's a mark cut out in it. Taking with me what I supposed to be $1,000 in gold, but afterwards it proved to be little over $8,000. After 3 days hard traveling, it would not have been over 2 days good going, but the way was rough and I was not feeling well. I arrived at the lake, and while resting there was taken sick, and have never since been able to return, and now I fear I never shall. I am alone in the world, with no relatives, no one to look after me for anything. Of course I have never spoken of this find during all this time for fear of it being discovered. It has caused me many anxious hours, but the place is so well guarded by surrounding ridges and mountains that it should not be found for many years, unless someone knew of it being there. Oh, how I wish I could go with you to show you this wonderful place, for I cannot give you any exact directions, and it may take a year or more for you to find. Don't give up, but keep at it, and you will be repaid beyond your wildest dreams. I believe any further directions would only tend to confuse it, so I won't suggest further that you go alone, or at least only take one or two trusty Indians to pack food, and no one need know that you are going on a hunting trip, until you find the place and get everything for yourself. And when you find it, and I am sure you will, should you care to see me, advertise in the Frisco Examiner, and if I am living, I will either come to see you or let you know where to find me. But once more I say to you, don't fail to look this great property up, and don't give up until you find it. Now goodbye, and may success attend you. Yours truly, W. Jackson.